Hey everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders and the PDX Picker channel. My name is Chris. I got some orders sold for me on eBay and Poshmark. We're going to pull those orders, talk about what's going on in this reselling business life. I'm seeing a lot of interesting trends about live selling versus static selling like eBay, so we're going to talk about that. Came up with this crazy harebrained idea just a couple minutes ago. I'm going to suggest it to you, and I want you guys to let me know what you think about it. Let's go ahead and start pulling those orders. We have, today is Monday. Great weekend of sales. Great month. This is February 24th. What a great month for me. February 2025, looking like it's gonna be close to a record, hopefully a record. Right off the bat, I want to thank a friend of the show, my OG member of the PDX Posse, Harley Gal 134. On top of being a great member of the show, the only member of the show, hit join below if you're interested in supporting the show. The channel, I should say. On top of that, she has now become a customer. She has bought multiple items from me, which is I'm glad to find some things, or that she found some things that are going to work for her. But anyway, thank you so much. It is. It's just really appreciated. Really appreciated. So thank you very much. First item that she found are these pair of Skechers shoes. I took a chance on buying this pair of Skechers because it was in such good condition. I don't even know if there's a model associated with it. She bought those for $21.21. Thank you, Patty. And then on top of that, she bought two more things, one of which I just listed yesterday. Next thing is a lot of Ulta makeup. This one I did not list yesterday. This has been around for a while. Probably 3 months or so. But there's about 5 or 6 different pieces of Ulta makeup in there. Lip gloss, lip cream. That sold also. No. And that sold for $18.61. And then lastly, this is the one I just listed yesterday. And this is part of the storage unit auction. So some things that came in the storage unit auction, I am finally getting around to listing. These are a lot of 4 pocket knives by a brand called Elite Edge. I'll show you the pictures of these real quick. I estimated I spent about $2 on these. And this is what they look like. 4 different knives there. 4 different looks to them, but cool knives. Those sold for $24.90, free shipping, so we'll just add all that together. So thank you, Patty. Thank you, Harley Gal 143. She's one in the same. Very much appreciated. The death pile is pretty much gone. I got a little bit in here that I need to go through, and then now I've just overrun it with boxes that I haven't put away yet. We do have a couple of big things over here I need to go through. This is the kiln. Little tiny kiln. I don't know what to do with this. I bought this nice Keurig. It's brand new, but man, I don't really want to ship that, so I think I might try and sell that locally. I guess it says used on it. I don't know, maybe it is used. Paid too much for it, but anyway, the death pile is getting smaller and smaller. So I haven't just released this video today with all of these illustrations from Bob Foster. Not sure how I'm going to sell those, or if I'm going to sell them, if I'm going to keep them. I don't know. But we get to work on this big assortment here, pretty much starting now, because I want to get rid of this. I want to clear up some space. Obviously, plus I want to start making some of my money back from that $600 that I spent on this auction. I mean, it is the nature of storage unit auctions. You just never know what you're going to find in there, but it's kind of crazy. So I spent basically $600 for this. I'm all told, I bet you if I got top dollar for everything, it would be about $2,000. That would be best case scenario. Probably not going to get anywhere near that. Probably more like $1,000. And then watching Bearded Thrift Machine's recent storage unit haul. Granted, it couldn't happen to two nicer people than Julian and Kayla. They just seem like they are the real deal. I love watching them, and they had the storage unit haul of a lifetime. Probably $55,000 to $60,000 of items in a unit that they spent a total of $700 on. If you haven't checked out those videos, you should head on over there. It is pretty crazy. I think they did about 8 videos because there was so much good stuff in this one storage unit. Had a nice weekend. It absolutely dumped rain. We had some minor flooding in the area. Nothing catastrophic or life-threatening as far as I know, or as far as I've heard, which is great. But Jonas and I went out and tried to play disc golf yesterday, and we succeeded. We played, but boy, it was wet. I was even wearing a PVC rain jacket, so underneath I was semi-dry, but my pants were just wet, like I just went swimming in them. It was a gross one. Thankfully, it wasn't too cold though, so that's nice. Sold this pair of Hey Dudes here. I feel like Hey Dudes are really going down in terms of popularity, but I picked these ones up for $1 at a yard sale. And they finally sold. I took an offer for $15 plus shipping. They are the Wally Crinkle. Like I said, I don't know if Hey Dudes are worth picking up, but I guess for $1 and selling them for $15, that is not that bad at all. And actually, I think that's a great segue into the topic I wanted to briefly broach today, which is I've just been seeing a lot of people in general, resellers in general, talking about live selling versus static selling like eBay and Poshmark, and specifically Whatnot. There's a lot of people moving to selling on Whatnot only. Maybe primarily closed sellers, but some everything sellers are going to selling on live selling 100% of the time. This one person I follow, he's local. He used to be a full-time eBay seller, started dabbling into Whatnot, and now he's pretty much a full-time Whatnot seller. And he says on average what he's doing is this is how he describes his business model. In the morning, he'll buy an item for $5 to $7, and in the afternoon, he'll sell it for $12 to $14. So he's making anywhere from, after fees and stuff, let's say $5 to $7 per item. But if you're selling 200 items and you're making $5 on average per item, well, that's $1,000. This is after fees. That's $1,000 that you're netting that day. That's minus cost of goods. That's everything except for taxes, essentially. Now you have to sell 200 items a day. You have to source 200 items a day. That's difficult to do, especially if you're part-time. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this business model is for everybody. But he is saying that it's working extremely well for him, and he's making more money than he's ever made before. I know a lot of people that are just killing it on Whatnot. Now, I don't really want to do Whatnot. I don't really like the idea of live selling. I think if you're extroverted, if you're gregarious, if you love being, hey, let's go, let's have fun on the videos here, on the streams, on these live auctions. That's great. It's great for you. That's not who I am. I'm not like a chitty chat guy who loves talking constantly for 2 hours straight. That's just not who I am, and that's probably the main reason why I haven't really gone over to live selling. It's just for that very reason. So this crazy harebrained idea that I have is turning eBay into Whatnot. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's an item like this. This is especially true, I think, during garage sales season, or if you are going somewhere on the regular, like the Goodwill outlet or the Goodwill bins. Buy something for as cheap as you possibly can, and then list it well below market value. Let's say when I had these listed originally for I think $23 or something like that, somewhere around there, $20 to $25. They sat for months and months and months, and then eventually somebody sent me an offer for $15, and I took it and sold it that way. What if instead of listing these for $20 to $25, I bought them for $1, listed them for $9, and just sold them like in a day or two? Okay. Or what if I bought it for $3 and listed it for 14? Basically keeping that same profit margin where you're making $6, $7 per item, but you're selling 50 items a day. So for me, that kind of revenue is, I think, something that's, for a part-time reseller, is very interesting. It's a very interesting concept. It has a lot of intrigue to it. Now, I'm only talking primarily about clothing, primarily about shoes, things that are probably not going to necessarily be more than 25, 30 bucks. There's still going to be a market for using eBay static selling for the top dollar, where you're pricing things to try and maximize your profit, get the most dollar out of it as you can. Has anyone tried this before? I know, like I said, the real issue, the real problem in all that is, how do you source that much inventory in order to be able to sell 50 items a day or 30 items a day or whatever the number is that I threw out earlier? That's going to be the hardest thing to do, especially as a part-time reseller. But maybe there's some full-timers out there, and that's the model that they use. So comment below. Do you use this model? Do you know of others that use this? Is it effective? What are the pros and the cons? Let us know below. It is starting to pour rain outside, so I apologize, because we got tippy-tappies on the roof, which is never fun. So I'm going to actually package these up and come back here in a little bit. Hopefully the rain will have stopped. Alright, the rain seems to have stopped. I got these items shipped, and I even listed an item while I was still waiting for the rain to stop. So trying to stay productive, even in the downtime from filming. Let's go ahead and pull the Poshmark order. This is a pair of Asics. It just finally took me a while to remember, whatever the term is, that Asics can be at least a good resale brand. So picked these up for $7.99. These are in really good condition, which was one of the main reasons I bought them, because they're not a great model. Well, they're a good model. They just don't sell for a super high dollar amount. But I sold these for $33 plus shipping, and I picked them up for $7.99. Basically, a lot of the reasons why people like live selling is because you get that fast money. And that's the idea that I'm trying to replicate, or thinking about replicating, when it comes to eBay. Why does eBay have to be only about slow money? So if the idea on Whatnot is, like I said, you buy an item for $5 in the morning and sell it for $10, $12 later on, versus later on that same day, versus buying it for $5 in the morning, listing it on eBay, and hopefully it will sell for $25 in a week or 2 months or whatever. That's the idea. Fast money on live selling on Whatnot. It's a different business model. It's similar to like a boutique clothing store versus a fast fashion clothing store. An old brick and mortar one. Boutique clothing stores are not going to have nearly the number of sales during the day. Maybe they're only going to sell 10 items in a day, but they average $100 an item. I'm just throwing out random numbers. There's $1,000 in the day, versus a fast fashion place might sell 75 items for $15 each. So the total dollar amount is somewhat similar, and that's kind of the difference between Whatnot and eBay. But that's why I'm thinking, what if we can make eBay a little bit like Whatnot on certain items? I don't know. This item sold. I talked about it in a previous video, and it was in my death pile for quite some time. This is a vintage Tungsol electron tubes case that like a radio or TV repair technician would carry around. It's got a really nice graphic on it. Basically paid $5 for it, and a whole bunch of other things that turned out to be a really, really good pickup. Excited about. But that sold really quickly for $59.99 plus shipping. It is made out of like a plasticky, or like it's not plastic, it's like a treated paper, coated paper, that's what I'm trying to think of. So it's quite light, probably only weighs 4 pounds or so. Hopefully won't be too difficult to ship, just need to find the right size box. For whatever reason, I charged $25 to ship that. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I mean, it is relatively large, but it doesn't weigh a lot. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out when it comes to shipping time. Did I crazily overcharge? Probably at the most. I bet you I can maybe ship this for like $16. Of course, it depends on where it's going. It's going to New York, so that's basically maximum shipping charge for me. So I bet you it'll probably be closer to $20 or $21. That's probably why I came up with that. Plus the big box. That's usually why I do come up with the prices that I do for shipping. I was just about ready to delist and sell similar this at a lower price. I have two of these, so I still might do it with the other one. But I have these AT&T Wi-Fi routers, and I bought them for either $8 or $10. Guess it was $10 because the price tag is still on there. But had these listed for what felt like forever. Let's take a look. How long were they listed? Again, this is why I love my reseller genie. It's just really easy to get these interesting statistics that can be quite helpful when it comes to... Well, that's actually... Just realized this is actually the wrong thing. I'm looking for a CenturyLink, which is over on G3. So I still, definitely now that I notice this, I think I'm going to have to end these listings, sell similar, drop it from like $90. I think these sell more regularly, right around $50. I did see a couple of comps in the $90 range, which is why I listed mine at that. But now we're looking for G3, which is this here. This I just had one, and this sold much, much quicker. Right here is a CenturyLink Wi-Fi router. That one had still been listed a while, 77 days. Bought it for $14.99, basically $15, and sold that one for $89.95 plus shipping. So price that one also relatively high. But it's just a modem router here, new in the box. I don't know why or how people donate these things, but maybe they get them free from their internet service provider and they just need another one? I don't know. Anyway, it turns out that every now and then these can be very good flips. This next item had been listed forever. Bought these last year, 2 years ago, I guess. No, not this last summer, but the summer before. So we're talking, it's been listed for 499 days. This is what you would call not a good buy. But the reason why I bought them is because they had potential to be worth a lot. It's just they weren't because they didn't work. But I didn't know that at the time. So these guys right here, these are a couple of fur reel friends. Paid $0.25 each, so 50 cents for the both of them. If they had worked, they would have sold probably much quicker, but they didn't. I tested them, they didn't work. But people still are interested in these. So these sold for $12.71 free shipping. You know, they've been in my store for a super long time and multiple sales. So not a ton of money. I could have just donated these, maybe even thrown them away. I don't know. But obviously somebody still had interest in them, so I'm glad I kept on to them. They're not too big. They didn't take up too much room. But I don't know. I guess it's kind of like, you know, either way it would have been fine. If I had donated those, not made the $3-4, would not have been that big of a deal. Originally I was hoping to sell them for like $18, I think. Somewhere right around there. Which would have made, you know, it a little bit better. But no such luck. Alright, I think I found the sweet spot on the price on this. I did an experiment where I have two of these listed. One I had listed for $35 plus shipping and didn't have any activity on it, and I went ahead and sold or listed another one just about a week ago for $29.99 plus shipping. Obviously, the savvy buyer bought the $29.99 one before the $35 one, but it sold just much, much quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on... By the way, this is a TP-Link Deco wireless like mesh Wi-Fi mesh router type thing. A lot of internet and Wi-Fi things selling today. But so yeah, I'm going to do that on the second one of these that I have. I'm just going to lower the price. Trying to get top dollar, but they're just sitting here. So we don't want them to sit forever to only make an extra $5. If it's going to sit for an extra month and sell for $20, $30 more, that makes sense to me. Not this $5 difference. So let's go ahead and drop the price. These I do not have the AC adapter on these. If I did, they would sell much quicker and probably for $10 or $15 more, I think. But the fact that I don't, maybe $30 more, I'm not sure. They sell for quite a bit more when you have the AC adapter and much faster. I don't have them, so I have to deal with the longer sell time, but just need to lower the price. Not sure if I ever finished the disc golf story from earlier. Well, I think I did. I was just sopping wet. Sopping wet came in to my car afterwards, and really wish I had a towel. It was bad, but fun. Still fun. This may be familiar to some of you long-time watchers. This one actually worked out well. Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. But this item was sold a few weeks ago and then was returned because the buyer didn't like that the graphic on here had too many cracks in it, according to the person. So they returned it. I relisted it, put in the description to make note of the cracks on the graphic, and originally I had sold it for, I don't know, $31 or something like that because it was in sale. I think it was in a sale, and then somebody sent me an offer, and then so I accepted it. But this time, when I relisted it, I kept it at the full price of $44.95, and it sold for that. This is a vintage. It's a vintage Disney store, made in the USA. I think they call this it's called the Big Face Winnie the Pooh, because bigger face on there. $44.95 plus shipping. This strategy seems to be working on some of my whatnot purchases, where I paid about $1 for quite a few of these shirts, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts. Not really knowing their condition, or not really knowing exactly how vintage or not vintage they were. The strategy being kind of like whatnot for eBay, I guess. I'm just lowering the price on them quite a bit. So this is a long sleeve University of Colorado Champion t-shirt, not in great condition. Speaking of graphics that is cracking, this one has some decent cracking on it as well. Picked that up for $1, and that sold for $11.99, free shipping. Didn't take that long, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and it cost me $5 to ship it. So we're looking at $6 of cost of goods, and another $1.50 or so for fees, so $7.50. So I probably made $4.50 on this shirt. These are super easy to list. Basically, take 5 pictures of them, one of the front, one with measurements, one of the tag, one of the back, so maybe 4 pictures, and put it in a bag. So it doesn't take a lot of time, but I think this is a little bit proof of concept of this idea of whatnot on eBay. The only reason that I wouldn't necessarily consider it an exact proof of concept is I don't think I would have bought this item to begin with to use this type of strategy on. I don't know, maybe I would have spent $1 on it at a yard sale or something, but it just, the only reason I bought it was because I had already had free shipping unlocked on the Whatnot auction, and there weren't a lot of bidders for this particular person that was doing the show, and I liked them. They're really nice people that run it, husband and wife team, and just wanted to support them, so I decided to buy this and a few others at the $1 price range. But like I said, I don't even know if I would normally have sourced an item like that, but even so, it still turned out to be a somewhat decent flip. So one more item. We talked about Duluth trading and how I'm really down on it. In fact, I'm done on it, I would say, except for the very, very rare item, and this would fall into that category just because this has actually a good sell-through rate. These are like a pair of nylon style pants, not style, but I think they're made of nylon. They're called Flex Dry on the Fly. And for whatever reason, the Flex Dry on the Fly model has a good sell-through rate for Duluth trading. So picked this up for, I think, $4, $3.99, and that's all I would pay for those, though, because it did, even though it did sell quickly, it only sold for $20.69 plus shipping. So anyway, I don't know. I'm totally just coming up with ideas on the fly when it comes to eBay or whatnot on eBay, which is probably why I don't really sound like I know what I'm talking about. Because I don't. I'm literally just coming up with it in the last hour and brainstorming ideas as I'm filming. So let me know what you guys think. Is this a crazy idea? Has anyone done it? What do you think? Comment below. Thank you again to Harley Gal 143, and if you are at all interested in supporting my channel, please click the join button below. For a very small monthly fee, you can really help support my channel and make it worthwhile for me to make these videos moving forward. Thanks so much for watching. Please like this video though if you did, and subscribe to my channel to get some more content like this in your feed in the future. If you are a reseller, good luck on your reselling ventures out there. If you're just watching because I am such a amazing guy, thank you as well. I'm very weird, I apologize. Alright, we'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.